Motivation is so important in the running of your lawn and gardening business. Do you ever struggle? G'day viewers, it's Jeff from Fees Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. Today's video is about motivation. I had done a video about 3 years ago, but it just rammed home the other day about how motivation is so important to the successful running of our business. We all struggle when we first start our business. We struggle because we struggle to get clients. You know, we're trying to get work, put food on the table, and it's very hard. We don't know anything about advertising, and we're just all starting to learn. We know nothing about efficiency of doing our job, and we struggle to do our lawns as quick as the professionals do because we don't know the work smarter, not harder concept. We don't know about the concept of working efficiently, mowing efficiently, using the right equipment at the right time, having a sequence, having systems in place to make the process easy. We struggle because we don't know how to quote. We're all learning. We're not sure how long it'll take us. We struggle about how to communicate with our customers. We struggle about trying to get money in, trying to chase up debts. All these troubles happen when we first start. We struggle. If you're watching this video and you're starting out and you're thinking, what have I got myself in for? Don't worry. She'll be right, mate, because I'll tell you, we all go through this when we first start. Even I did nearly 4 decades ago. It's all right for you to say. I started out exactly the same things I've just said. I struggled everywhere in all those departments. Nowadays, you have got YouTube, you have got mentors, you have got groups and forums to talk to and ask questions. But it still doesn't help completely because you're the only one that's going to solve the struggling problem. You've got to find a solution that's going to fit you. It's going to suit you as an individual, as your business. It's so important to understand that. I hear people say, look, the right way to do it is my way. Well, that's wrong because everybody's different. I mow a lawn differently to the bloke next to me. We probably achieve the same result at the end of the day, but we approach it in different ways. So it's important to understand what suits you and what fits you. The other thing is, after we started and after we've been in business for a while, we can still have our struggles. For example, climatic conditions can be a problem to us. Now, I remember back in my early days, I struggled because it was too wet. A Melbourne winter with no sun, the ground is soggy, and it's soggy until the springtime, until the summertime even. And we had a big problem in trying to mow lawns because they were just too wet. Hasn't happened a lot since, but back then we had a lot of rain, and it certainly made troubles. And then, of course, we had the 10-year drought. We'd have a little bit of winter grass to mow, we'd have a very quick spring, and all of a sudden before Christmas the grass was dried off. And we'd have years of grass coming into the summer of cuts. We couldn't do weekly or fortnightly cuts because there was nothing to cut. So we struggled. But through motivation, we got over those. And this is my main point of the topic today is how do you motivate yourself? How do you lose your motivation is probably the first thing to address. You must understand how you lose your motivation, what's expected of you to have that motivation, and what to do to get it back. Very easy to lose it, of course. If you're trying and struggling and you're on the canvas and you think, what's the point of doing it all? Well, I just remember one thing. I did a video about 3 years ago of a similar topic of motivation. And it was, remember when you worked for the man, you weren't in control, you were told what to do. Your colleagues were all, against you because they wanted to climb over the top of you. It was a real dog eat dog. And it wasn't a very enjoyable place when you worked for the man. And now that you work for yourself, just remember, that's a motivation in itself. But of course, if you're working for yourself, and we're very special people, I believe, when you have your own business, because you're self-starters, you're self-motivators. And you have got it in your hands to motivate yourself. No one else but you. Sure, you can have a coach, you can have a business coach. A lot of people do have it, and that suits them. But me, and I know probably 80% or 90% of people, gardeners like myself, we're going to get off that floor and we're going to get back on top of it again. We lose our motivation also is when we don't think things are going our way. We drop the ball. We're getting tired. It's another way of motivation, losing our motivation. You know, we injure ourselves. We have injuries which or sicknesses which can drop our motivation because it'll make us struggle. It's really hard to get through the day. And the other time that you may lose your motivation is that when you're on top of the game, and you might be a mow and blow guy. Here we go again. You might be a mow and blow guy that gets sick of it. Every day, 5 days a week. I don't need a diary because I know on Monday I'm going to do Mrs. Hornsby at 2 o'clock and I'm going to do Mrs. Peabody at 2:30 and I'm going to do Mr. Smith at 3:35. You don't need a diary because it's boring. Same things day in, day out. Unless it rains, of course, that makes it a bit more exciting because then you've got to catch up. So you can lose motivation in several ways. So how do I get the motivation back? Well, apart from I don't want to work for the men anymore, I reckon that's pretty good in itself. You need to set yourself some goals. I think every business, even when you start out, you need to set goals. Little goals at the start, achievable goals. Like mine might be, for example, I want to earn X amount of dollars per day. Now, at my stage of life, I've got a goal. I want to work 3 days a week, but I want to turn over as much income as I was earning 4 to 4.5 days. I'm nearly there because I've only got absolute top cream clients that pay really well. I've got it so tight around, I've got the efficiency of work so well oiled that I can achieve that result. You may achieve it, you might say I want to earn $500 a day. So how am I going to do that? Well, I've got to advertise, I want 10 clients. How am I going to get those 10 or 8 to 10 clients? I've got to put ads in, I've got to get onto Facebook, I've got to get onto online, I've got to upgrade my web page, I've got to get my Google ads working and so on. A local paper ad, letterbox drops, knocking on doors when I do a lawn, I'll knock on the next door, do you want your lawn done? All these things. Chase them down to get that target that you want. So once you've set that goal, set another goal. You might want to expand, you might want to get bigger. It depends, it's up to you. But you'll only do that through motivation. And if you haven't got that motivation, it just makes it so much harder. Now, I mentioned before, some people lose their motivation, and I did when I was purely just mowing lawns every day of the week, and it got boring. Now, some people that suits because the security's there, the income's constant, and that suits some people. It doesn't suit me because I like to live on the edge a bit. I like the challenge, and even now approaching 70, I still want that challenge. That's the type of person I am. That's the type of person I was brought up as, I guess. But there's a lot of other people exactly like me too. So how do I change that motivation? Tweak the business. Let's change things. Let's look at garden rejuvenations. Let's look at garden designs. Let's look at small landscapes, hedging. There's so many other aspects, upselling of your business that you may like to do. So what I've done is I lessened the mowing and increased the things that I like to do. Little garden designs, little garden rejuvenations, maintenance of high-end properties, that people that care about their gardens. That motivates me because the people are excited about having their place looking really nice. And I've done that. I look back and go, I've done that, and that motivates me. So there is ways to get your motivation back, to get your mojo back. So it's one of the most important, and as I always say in each video, this is the most important thing, this is the most important thing. Motivation is just another important aspect of running a business. It's not just a matter of starting a business and going and away you go. You've got so many aspects that you've got to have in your armoury, and motivation is certainly one of the top things to have. All right, go girls and boys, get motivated, get out there and get it done. All right, viewers, thanks for watching and really appreciate and love to hear your comments too. It'd be really intriguing to see if you see it the way I see it or you might see it differently. But just fantastic feedback, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.